Zach's past might be making it hard for him to clearly see his future. Bio got a few lessons that he's trying to teach Sabrina. And Karen is moving on, finally, for real this time. What's good, y'all? It's your good sis Erica Vane coming to you right here on Erica Vane TV with another Sistas video. And in this video, we are talking about season 6, episode number 13. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button and turn on your bell notification so you don't miss out on any of my sisters' content and conversations, because I'm your good sis you love to talk TV with, okay? And we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it. I think I'm going to take this breakdown bit by bit and just go along in the timeline. So, let's do it. The episode picks up right where episode 12 left off with Bio. And, when I tell y'all this conversation gets worse and worse and worse, the pressure is getting worse. Tyler Perry pulls up no stops when it comes to playing into the whole African prince, green card, no autonomy, oppressive, women are property stereotypes. And then come to find out, it was Bio just basically trying to teach Sabrina that all Africans don't have that story. It's a stereotype. That's not the case. There's no contract in place. He don't actually want to marry her. And on Our Sister's Keeper last night, I actually talked about this and I was like, oh, maybe it was Tyler just trying to push back against these stereotypes, because I ain't even gonna hold you. When he started saying it, I just went along with it because it seemed like the character was devolving right before our eyes. And I had to check myself when he kind of had his little point at the end, because I'm like, oh damn, why was I so easily and quickly able to believe it, even though he was saying certain things out of his mouth and I was just kind of going with it. And I said on Our Sister's Keeper, I was like, okay, well, maybe Sabrina could have just not believed it. But when I went back and rewatched, she didn't believe it. She was like, I must be getting punked. Where's the cameras? This cannot be serious. So actually, I have no notes for Sabrina. She handled it as best she could. Better than most, because he would have got his ass smiley whopped in my house. You're going to have to drag me down and also kicking and screaming. And when I, again, went back and rewatched it, it feels like this scene was just poorly executed on Tyler's part, because I get the point of trying to make the note of all Africans are not stereotypical, just looking for a green card and looking to have 82 million wives and oppress them and make them birth out 52 kids and all of that. But Sabrina never alluded to that. Sabrina pointed out that he didn't like Maurice, and it was given homophobia, because it was. Now he makes a note of or he basically brings it all around, because he feels like her pointing out that he has a problem with Maurice is the homophobia, and that just means that he's like every other African. But she didn't say that, sir. This feels like you are pulling from your own experience, your own insecurities, your own issues with how people, maybe society at large, perceives you. She came to you with a very specific issue: how you were handling her friend, how you regarded her friend, one that you really don't know that well, because so quiet as kept, you don't even really know Sabrina that well, in all honesty. And you had such negative emotions and responses to him. Now, don't get me wrong. Maurice is definitely team too much on most occasions, but it was given homophobia. And I did not tie the homophobia to the Prince African whateverness of it all. So for Tyler to use that to try to bridge the gap of oh, all Africans are not the same, it's she never said that. She said you were homophobic. Now, if you want to deal with the African stereotypes, we can do that another day. But again, she never said that. And he made the point of he has all of these reasons. He has a laundry list of reasons why he don't like Maurice, or he doesn't like his lifestyle. And I'm like, well, why don't you run those down versus running all the stereotypes that you feel like Americans feel about Africans? Because again, Sabrina never stereotyped you. Sabrina has been nothing but kind to you. And yes, she has asked you for help when she was caught between a rock and a hard place, but she, again, never stereotyped you. So also, Bio, go to hell real quick, because you tried it. And justice for Sabrina. And I guess, on Our Sister's Keeper, I pointed out, girl, boy, do you want this girl or not? Because if you were just trying to prove a point and trying to point out how Africans are treated and stereotypes, whatever, you could have handled that so much better, because I wouldn't want to date you after the fact. And I'm assuming, again, after rewatching, he is clear, he don't want to date Sabrina either. He just wants his money back. He's going to get his money back. But also, Tyler, I'm going to need you to pay more attention when you write in, Because if I recall correctly, y'all can tell me in the comment section down below if I am incorrect, please let me know. Bio did not pay the bail for Sabrina. He paid the bail for Maurice. The bail for Sabrina came from Robin. So what you talking about? Don't y'all skip town and make sure y'all both show up so I can get all my money back. It's giving no continuity, Mr. Barry. But let's move on. Okay, so the next scene, well, scenes, I'm going to run them together. 3 of the 4 sisters are outside Karen's apartment for a little bit before Karen opens the door and let them in so they can have a conversation. They're only outside the door because Andi gets there first, but she's too scared to go in. And then she also wants to debrief Danni and Sabrina on what transpired with Karen at the law firm earlier that day before they all go in, because that is the reason why she called them all over there. I'm gonna give Andrea a little something, because I was a little heavy-handed on her, where I felt like she gave Danni a little bit of shade about having the alcohol in her purse. Andi be giving too elitist for me. For her to be a bird, she looks down on people too much. And it's heaviest with Pam, but then it also peaks its ugly head a little bit, like in the moment with Danni. But she didn't do it as much as I felt like she did it, because she actually took one of the alcohol bottles, and I don't remember seeing her take it. Like, I was doing my makeup and my hair at the time, so I wasn't really paying attention to Andrea Barnes. So I'm gonna give her a little bit of something back, because I was on her head in last night's episode of Our Sisters Keeper. If you haven't watched it already, please be sure to check it out. That is my live after show and podcast where we talk about Sisters right after new episodes premiere, and it's co-hosted with the amazing Allie Nick Official. Such a great conversation. I enjoy doing that. But anyway, the girls are outside. They wait for Sabrina to come. She tells them, and then pretty much before they can even start to talk about it, Karen from the inside heard them outside and invites them in, because y'all out here telling all my goddamn business to my neighbors. Bring y'all asses inside. They come inside, and then they start, or are about to start. But what? Sabrina, the only real good friend that Karen got in this one moment, well, actually Pam is a solid one too, the one of very few, because Danni and Andrea, they is definitely on my list, says, wait a minute, Karen, do you even want to talk about what we came here to talk about? How you feeling? That's how you friend. From now on, that's how you friend. I loved it. I love that she stopped for a moment to take in how Karen was feeling, what she was thinking, basically taking something from her, and to basically set the tone that she did not come there, or they did not come there to chastise Karen. They're literally there to support and help her. And that is not an intention or energy that actually happens often with this friend group. I feel like more often than not, when they get together, they're getting together to condemn one another or to kiki and be messy. And we can go ahead and point to Andrea kikiing about Karen with Fatima last episode, but I'm gonna leave it there because we ain't had that this episode. So Danni had some really great lines. Like, I think my favorite line of this episode for her was that the love is different. And it's so funny because while we were watching it, she made a point to tell Karen, like, yes, Zach loves you. He has said it multiple times, but the love is different. And when she said that, I literally said, but the love is different. So we kind of said it in tandem, even though, Danni, you still on my damn list, girl, because you need to do better by yourself. But anyway, I really, really enjoyed that. However, I'm still struggling with Danni taking the rap of like the realest friend, the one who's going to give it to you real rap raw, because you be tiptoeing around Andi and her bullshit. You don't be calling a thing always with Andi, and then you too busy making fun of Sabrina. So the realness that you be giving Sabrina in reference to advice or thoughts or criticism about her life is more so the jokes that you're trying to get off, and not really about you being real. It's more so about you being nasty and sometimes biphobic. But okay, girl. It's only when you get to Karen that you be having all this real rap raw energy. And I could respect it a lot better if you actually carried that same energy for you. Because in the moment that we have the clarity and I'm going to give it to you real, don't make me mad because y'all got me here. And you know, if I'm going to be in a conversation, I'm going to be the one that's going to tell you what it is and what it ain't. And I'm going to keep it 100. But then you also hollering about you have girlfriend energy and you haven't figured out how to get that damn ring off of Mindy's finger. Where's Mindy at? You got girlfriend energy. You about to give this a chance, but you knee deep up in the dating scene. The dating app scene, you know what's going on, so much so that the moment that Andrea makes a profile, you know, because you still checking, but you all in trying to give it a chance with Rodeo because he has been there for you. And then also you like the crazy stalker from your damn job. Like, I cannot take Daniella seriously about being a girl who's about her business, is going to keep it real, does actually care about you, when you make so many decisions that aren't real, that are grounded in fakeness and or deception. And you don't even take care of your damn self. You don't make good decisions with great intentions for yourself. So we supposed to believe that because it's for Karen, now all of a sudden you have cultivated self-awareness in certain things. And again, some of the stuff that she said sounded great, but everything around it, to me, created contempt for what she was giving, the energy that she was giving Karen. Girl, you want to talk about real rap raw? Zach don't love you that way no more. Real rap raw, Danni. Preston is engaged. Real rap raw, Danni, you need to do something other than make a little flippant remark about Jonah, because that man tried to unalive you and sexually assault you in your goddamn apartment. You need to deal with that. Real rap raw, you slept with a bisexual who was also intimate with a man who you vehemently hate. You need to deal with that. And that's not to throw those things up in her face, but Danni has so much going on in her life that I cannot take her seriously, and I cannot respect her criticism and or advice for the people around her, because she literally puts her head in the sand and ignores all of her own issues. If she would actually start to process those things, if we were actually seeing her try to healthily work through some of the experiences that she has, even the justification she gave for like the dating app scene, I'm an apex predator, so I keep my eye on the competition. No, you're an insecure woman who's not sure that she's beautiful, not sure that you're deserving of love. Let's talk about it, because a lot of us have been there before. And it's funny because we brought it up on Our Sister's Keeper last night, where there's a moment early on in the series where Danni says that she wished she had somebody like Zach to love her, and she's talking to Karen. Girl, that's also steeped in like, you would rather have toxic love than no love. And is something wrong with it? But I didn't bring it up to criticize her. I brought that up to bring up the very real points of like insecurity, lack of self-worth, and growth that could happen, but it's not happening for the Daniella character. And that is a problem for the audience. Because for me, it is making Daniella a irreliable narrator. So when she does say something that's meaningful or could be dope, it becomes completely invalidated with whatever joke or dumbass rationalization she has for her own missteps. And honestly, it makes her less likable for me. Child, for the most part, Sabrina played it cool in this conversation and was really just listening what she typically do. I cannot wait till we get to a season where Sabrina is a lot more assertive. Sabrina is a lot more of a leader and like taking control, because I think she has really great perspectives and she has a very genuine heart. Like I said, I think that she is the most friend of the friend group to Karen. And she's not caught up in her own BS, and she can see things a lot clearer. I think that in a lot of times, in a lot of ways, Andi and Daniella have their own going on, and it taints how they interact with other people because they can't unpack their for themselves. Real quick, touching on Andrea in this damn moment, she wants to ask Karen if it was possibly anybody else, and I loved it. Karen, tell her that you offended, and tell her, girl, who do you think I am? The only thing that you was missing was, who do you think I am? You? Because you sitting up here giggling about a damn dating app. Meanwhile, just a day ago, you was trying to get Gary to fuck you and being disrespectful to him. You low-key still want to smash Paris. Like, Andi, close up shop for a bit. Just sit there and heal, honey. Relax. Because all of it's giving way too damn much. And then you have the nerve to sit across from Karen talking about some you ain't leaving until you get an apology. Well, I guess your ass staying the night. Do you need a blanket? Because apologize for what? What exactly does she owe you an apology for? I'll wait. She owe you an apology for you sitting in your damn office kikiing with Fatima about her coochie coupons and Aaron being a daddy? She owe you an apology for that? She owe you an apology for keeping from her the fact that Zach had a damn picture, or Fatima had a picture of her and Zach embracing, and that's the thing that was sending him off his damn rock and got them into a damn fight. She owe you an apology for that. She owe you an apology for any of the time that you share information with Fatima, but then don't turn around and share any information with Karen. And not that I think that she should share any information of the other side with either woman, but it should be one-sided. So, like, girl, Tyler missed me with it. And some people last night on our Sistas Keeper called out, they feel like it's colorism and that Karen has to apologize all the time and she has to do this and she has to do that. And while I won't go as far as to say that, and if you want to deep dive into that, check out Allie Nick Official, because she, I think, explained it a lot better. I will say that I don't appreciate these characters expecting so much out of her and then they don't have to reciprocate. Because Andi has owed Karen a couple of apologies for a couple of things. A few things have been wrong. And then we watch Karen go and apologize to her to make everything okay, so that Andi gets to feel like she never did anything wrong. And then she continues to go on and do something wrong again. Do something deceitful again. Do something disloyal again. And no, Daniella, you're not getting one either, because you apology for what? I didn't ask y'all to come into my house. I damn sure didn't ask Fatima to come into my house, so I'm not apologizing to y'all for about to mollywop this girl in my house. If y'all don't get the hell out of my house, I loved it. This scene, I thought it was longer when I first watched it, but it was literally only like about 10 minutes. And I kind of wish it was longer, but actually maybe it was the right size. It was one of the strongest moments of the episode. I think this is where so many people on live were giving Karen 10s, and they loved how calm and collected and cool she was, because contrary to popular, or not even popular, because I don't know if it's popular, contrary to y'all's loud ass belief, and y'all know who I'm talking to, Karen is not crazy. Okay, she's emotional. She has hormones that are high. She's going through a breakup, yes, but her ass is not crazy. And we're going to be seeing her go to the doctors to talk about what is going on with the spiking levels of her emotions and her erratic behavior. Can't wait for that. Karen definitely knocked it out of the park in this episode, and I'm going to come back to her once I get to the moment where she actually gets to have a conversation with Aaron, because that's one of the things that Andi brings up in the conversation about how at the law firm, Aaron told her that he found out that he's actually the father, and it's like no way that can possibly be. I want to know who is leaking this damn information to Mr. Carter, because your ass needs to be fired. You need to be fired. Okay, so this video is already starting to be too long, so let me go ahead and wrap up the things that are just least significant. Okay, from here we go into Q getting called back down to the jailhouse, wherever the hell they are, where they did the interrogation. And the prosecutor's like, yep, you're going back to jail. I never stand on my side. You're in line. I know that Maurice was doing that for Sabrina. Your co-conspirators threw your name in the damn hat. They signed a deal and you're going back. Logan, you just tried to get promoted. Don't ever do that shit again. You lucky you get to keep your job. And honestly, all I care about is that we won't have to see Q no more. So yay! Moving the hell on. Then we're in the car with Fatima and Zach, because they're going over to see Michael, because Zach is on his little hunger strike because he believed that his son is hungry and he got to go check on them. In the car, they are having a conversation about Hayden and Tamara, and then Fatima always being ready to jump the gun. She talks about she don't never strike first. She always is responding to somebody, and so it's like, girl, you like to believe that, but I'm gonna go ahead and let you have it, because I don't care to talk about it in this video. Feeling guilty about Hayden is wild. I do feel like she was a little deceptive in how she described it to Zach, because you did not hook a friend up with a friend. You literally sent this woman in to try to destroy this boy's life, and the way that you alluded to it just being a setup, and now that they are married, it just kind of happened naturally, is wild to me. But okay, Zach already reaffirms, like, girl, don't worry about it. I ain't tripping. He deserved it. And it's like Allie pointed out on our Sistas Keeper how you can feel guilty that you set him up with a girl that married him, but you don't feel guilty about getting your aunt to almost kill him. Okay, moving on. This brings us to Jake's Bakes, wherever the hell they are. This is Steam Plant without us seeing the other side of the damn restaurant. Tyler, you got all them acreages down there at Tyler Perry Studios. You're gonna have to find us another restaurant, because y'all asses is in Steam Plant and you calling it another name, and I don't appreciate it. Stop playing with me like I'm dumb, because I ain't dumb. But Sabrina and Danni tag along with Andi for her blind date with this person that she met on a dating site. He didn't have a bad experience with some narcissist who was catfishing him. His boys run into Danni and Sabrina at the bar, and one of his boys is the stalker Tony. The other one is Rich. They keep reaffirming that, oh, you don't have to worry about Andi because my boy is good. I don't know that, and I don't know you. Can you stop trying to say this? It's giving very much so stranger danger. Like, the way that these men kept trying to convince them to, like, put their guard down and, like, don't worry about them because I said so. Sir, who is you? But, you know, they're going to get a table. They're going to have dinner and all that. And then it goes back to the scene where Karen is at home because Aaron comes over. But I want to leave that for last because aside from the home... Well, actually, this is... Aaron and Karen is my favorite scene of the entire episode, but like this scene and then Karen with the girls were what made the episode for me. But again, we're gonna save Aaron and Karen to the very end. And the last two scenes, of course, Karen and Aaron and Zach and Fatima. And when we come back or catch back up with Zach and Fatima, they are leaning up against Zach's car outside of Heather's house. So much so that the neighbor comes by, the little nosy ass neighbor with all the tea, comes by and tells them that she have a bunch of men running up and through there. Zach gets so riled up hearing the scream because she says, you hear that? He up there beating his ass again. And I'm just like, this neighbor, while I can understand initially, like, because you have no knowledge of this environment, you didn't like what you saw when you were actually in there, you learned that this boy has special needs, you saw that he was unattended outside. I get all of the red flags that's popping up, but also we don't know if this lady is telling the truth. For me, if the lady has called CPS a whole bunch of times and Michael has been alive for 3 years and they have yet to take the baby, that should say something. I'm starting to question this lady's credibility. Like, one, what the hell are y'all doing out here? Y'all came over here to check for Michael, but then y'all posted up like y'all too cool for school in the Michael Jackson video up against the damn car. Are you going in or are you not? Then you only feel compelled to go in once you hear this screaming, you banging on the door. The boy opens the damn door and yes, it is a new nigga, but ain't nobody counting Heather's coochie coupons. Girl, use them how you wish. Zach, you met this man with aggression. Like, in watching it for the second time, I don't know if I'm going to go with my first mind. I think that this man is in here beating him because I literally thought that it was Heather screaming. The scream does not sound like what I would expect from a 3-year-old male Michael. Like, it just does not compute. And shout out to, I think it was Velma Young on the live last night. And she was like, watch is going to be the TV making all that damn noise. Y'all know how Tyler get down. Meanwhile, Zach, you done broke in the damn door and beat the hell out of the boyfriend of the night. All for what? To find that out? And we don't actually get to see Michael when he breaks down the door. In the preview, we don't get to see Michael like in the car, even like a flash to him sleep or anything like that. So it's just like, it looks 100% one way, but you can never really trust Tyler when things are a little bit too damn obvious. And Zach, I feel like, is leaning so heavily into his past trauma, his childhood trauma that he's still working to heal from, that he is allowing it to cloud how he is moving forward. If you are in so much therapy as you say, if you are as calm as you say, because just in the car a couple minutes ago, you was telling Fatima how you were the actual calm one. Meanwhile, you done knock Heather's door off the goddamn hinges and you couldn't figure out no other calm way to handle this. It's given take your ass back to therapy. You probably need to double or quadruple the damn sessions, because if you are so pulled and so triggered in this way, that tells me that you still have so much to heal from. And mind you, we're never going to be perfectly healed. We're always going to have triggers. I'm not saying that you won't, but for me, there's something that's not quite right about how Zach is leaning into his past and the trauma of his past and then projecting that onto Michael and Michael's circumstances. Because yes, maybe Heather's not a good mother, or maybe Heather is a decent mother doing the best she can with a special needs kid. And you need to not jump to conclusions and assume that Heather is the way that your mom was and actually offer her some help before you come in trying to take her damn kid. But that's neither here nor there, and I don't want to spend no more time on it. What I do want to get to is just the beautiful, somber, saddening, but releasing scene between Aaron and Karen. Karen calls Aaron over to just have the tough conversation. And he is so damn sure that this is the baby, or the baby is his, because he saw the results and the results said 99%, but he just stopped after 99 and didn't see 99% not a match. Okay, Aaron, like, you be losing me sometimes. I be riding with you, and then all of a sudden you bang a left, and now I'm out the damn window. But back to the beautiful words that he said, like, he just kept professing his love for Karen. He is so sure. He's so steadfast in his support, his love, and his deep desire to provide for this woman. So it's like you can't help but want to root for it. But Karen is not actually in this space. I hope, and I saw this on in some comments on Allie's channel, where people were saying that Karen doesn't owe Aaron anything, especially not an explanation. And I think that is it could be right. It could be a right sentiment, right? I think that I want to know as an audience member. So even if she doesn't provide Aaron in what was the definitive thing that like literally turned her off for him, I want her to write in her journal, call her mama, just tell somebody so that us as the audience can know, because she did have a really, really real moment of buying into Aaron and deciding that she was going to give this thing a try. And it felt like it was going to be up for them. It felt like it was finally, she's getting the things that she deserves. And I do believe that it wasn't until Jennifer popped her goofy ass head up out the water or wherever the hell she came from that disrupted everything. And then on top of that, the fire. And then on top of that, Zach professing his love. And it's like so many things. Like, I know it's not the one thing in Jennifer, but if Jennifer was the spark to like the fire that made you completely disassociate, please just confirm it for us, Karen, because I need to understand. For all intents and purposes, Aaron has been the most solid person. Well, I can't say that because your mama's solid, Pam is solid, the most solid man in your life for quite a while, and by far. And you actually do love him. It would be one thing if you wasn't actually interested in him at all, right? So I'm like having a hard time releasing, even though they gave us a very beautiful closure scene where it almost leads you to believe that, you know, Aaron as a character, we won't actually be seeing him in the series anymore because it was so final in how it felt. But because she actually does love him, because she has found joy and peace and grounding and growth in herself by way of this relationship with him, it makes you still want to root for them, because you can't really put your finger on exactly what is the problem. You said that you want to be loved deeply and loyally. You want to be provided for. You want to be the only one. Like, every single thing that you ask for and that you want in a man, Aaron is. So why don't you want to accept him? But like I said, the commenter over on Allie's channel is kind of right. She don't owe that explanation to him. Again, I'm just asking as the audience member. And honestly, because Karen is such a dope ass character and she is so deep and layered, especially in the experiences that we've gotten to see, I'm looking forward to this new chapter in her pursuing life single, standing on her own, not trying to provide for anybody, not looking for somebody to provide for her. She's going to make a way for her and this baby on her own. And there is something to say about that. I think I'm personally biased in that I'm championing all Black women to be, you know, supported and taken care of, because myself and so many other Black women in my immediate circle have had to do a lot on our damn own, and I just want us all to be taken care of. But every now and again, we do need to lean into our strength and into our independence and do it for ourselves, and there's nothing wrong with that. We're fully capable of that, and that's the season that we're about to walk into. I think in the conversation that we got to watch play out, I think that Karen was firm but still very genuine and intentional with how she handled Aaron's feelings. Allie pointed out beautifully how happy Aaron was when he thought that he was right, but then rereading the results and how he broke. And it's like, Kevin, you baby, the nuance and the acting and the choices in that moment, you felt it. So many people on live were talking about how they were brought to tears, and I feel them on that. I would love to know, do y'all think that this is the real end of Aaron and Karen's story? Let me know in the comment section down below. And then while you're at it, let me know what you thought about this entire episode. What are you predicting for the future? Give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already, because you like it here. You know you like it here. You done made it all the way to the end of the video. I'm your good sis, she let us talk TV with, and I'm going to see you in the episode 14 preview.